friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor and today we are going to be talking about my end of the year book tag and TBR for the rest of 2024. Let's get into it. Okay, sorry, we had to do an outfit change. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about a few different things. I'm kind of creating my own tag, taking a few different questions from a few different variations of this book tag that I've seen. So let's go ahead and start off with my most disappointing book for the year this year. Let's talk about it. So I just came off of like the end of last year, like the biggest stretch of Sarah J. Maas books ever. I just had binged the Throne of Glass series, which chef's kiss, top tier, cannot be undone or replaced. And then I almost immediately jumped into this, and I wish that I had waited because everything that everyone says about this book is true. I was so lost the first like 200 pages, and then it just followed the very stereotypical trope of a Sarah J. Maas book. Very confusing in the beginning, riding along for the ride in the middle, and then the last 200 pages were chaos. And it just was a lot for me. These are big books, and I just kind of finished with this one, and I was burnt out. So yeah, unfortunately, I think I'm gonna wait a little bit before I continue on with her books and finish out this series. I have the next two in the series to check out, but I think I'm gonna give it a minute before I jump back into this world. But I will finish it, I think, sometime next year. But yeah, for right now, I needed kind of the break from the Sarah J. Maas world, unfortunately. I do have to give honorable mention to Sky's End as well for being another slightly disappointing book, purely for the fact of how much Bird was mentioned in these pages incessantly, and I couldn't get past it. The writing was so repetitive at certain points. So yeah, unfortunately for this one as well, honorable mention, not a fan. Okay, now let's talk about some favorite new to me authors, debut authors to me that I found that I was obsessed with this year. Let's get into it. The first is Brie Paulson, specifically The Garlic and the Witch duology. These are adorable graphic novels following a little garlic clove as she just goes on little adventures, and I am obsessed. What is in my hair? Ugh. I don't know what that was. Anyways, I am obsessed with her stuff. I read her newest release in November of this year and really enjoyed it. I just really like her writing style. Her like world building is really great. This series especially I was obsessed with, so really glad I got to read this and find her this year. Next, let's talk about a classic here on BookTube. This is a Legends and Lattes by Travis Beldry. I haven't unfortunately read Bookshops and Bone Dust, but it's been on my list. I will get to it next year. But yeah, this is just everything that everyone says. It's cozy, it's warm, it's a good time in a book. The characters are so adorable. I'm obsessed. And yeah, I just really enjoyed the world and the life that this kind of displayed, and I'm obsessed with him. I will read everything he writes from here on out. Okay, next, let's talk about my favorite sequel for the year. So favorite sequel honorable mention has to go to Heart of the Sun Warrior by Sue Lynn Tan. This is one that was on my list to read this year. Finally got around to it. This came out, I think, a couple years ago, and it's been on my shelves for far too long. I was obsessed with Daughter and the Moon Goddess. It's just one of those super atmospheric books that really takes you in and really takes you for a ride. There's so many amazing characters, and the world is so unique and different. I loved this. I wish I'd actually reread, as I'm saying that, Daughter of the Moon Goddess before I dove into this one, just because I feel like there were a lot of things that I've forgotten when I went and finally got into this one. Took me a sec to get into it. However, once the end came around, I was hooked. I loved it so much, and the ending was very surprising to me. I did not see the ending coming at all, but yeah, I really love this one. If you're a fan of Asian mythology, I would definitely check this one out. It is fantastic. Okay, let's talk about a couple surprising books that I was not expecting this year. The first one, actually, they're kind of both in the same category of like thriller vibes, which I guess these also both could go into honorable mentions of like favorite new authors, which we'll continue in that realm, I guess, continue that streak. But new surprising books to me that I was like not expecting. that were like new favorites is The One by John Mars. Don't watch the show on Netflix, it's trash. But this book, I'm like now officially obsessed with John Mars. So yes, highlight to him as like a new favorite author that I want to check out a bunch more from. This is essentially following a DNA test that basically will match you to your perfect soulmate. This had so many interesting factors to it. I hear it's very similar to The Measure, which I tried to read a few years ago and could not get into, but this was amazing. It's like slice of life with people living in this world with this as an option, and it was so interesting. Really enjoyed it and definitely want to check out more from John Mars. Another thriller that I also enjoyed, this is That's Not My Name by Megan Lally. I'm usually able to see a twist in a thriller coming from pretty far away. This one totally surprised me. I was not expecting the twist in this one. This is a YA, and I think she's also a debut author as well. This was good. Like, this was really, really good. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't really get into thrillers very often. I'm kind of starting to, which is kind of surprising for me. But yeah, this was one definitely that surprised me. I was not expecting it to be as good and as shocking as it was. Very obsessed. Okay, lastly, we'll end on the rest of this year for my favorite middle grade from 2024. I'm not going to do my favorite books of the year quite yet, although some of these you could probably tell from this deck. But yeah, we'll talk about these two. Favorite middle grade for the year was definitely Once There Was and The Wild Robot by Peter Brown. Both of these I definitely want to continue on in the series. I think the sequel to this one actually does come out next year, which I'm very excited about. This one kind of gave me like Spiderwick Chronicles kind of version of the world. I loved this one. This one was so cute, like the just beyond the line of sight type of fantasy world that's like right there if you know where to look for it. Obsessed with that one. I wouldn't even say that one read as middle grade. It almost read as young adult, so I don't quite know how to categorize that one, and I don't read very much YA anymore. I was obsessed with that one. And of course, The Wild Robot by Peter Brown. This came out as the movie this year, which is why I wanted to read it before seeing the movie. Slight variations from the movie to the book, so I wouldn't say this is my favorite adaptation, but overall I really enjoyed this. It's a very cute, very quick read. I listened to most of this actually on audiobook pretty quickly, and I just enjoyed it. It's so cute, it's so heartwarming, it's got that, again, found family feeling that I've learned that I love in books, so yeah, this one was really cute. I'm definitely going to finish the series hopefully in the next year, so I'm excited for it. Okay, wrapping it up really quickly because I have to go deliver cookies to some people. Let's talk about the things that I need to read before the end of the year, starting with my main three before we jump into the holiday books, because I typically reserve December for reading only Christmas and holiday books. I'm a little behind, mainly because I'm like halfway through or partially through some of these, and I just need to finish them before the end of the year. Starting with The Dragon's Promise by Elizabeth Lim. I read, what was the first one of this? Oh, Six Crimson Cranes earlier this year, and I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot, but definitely wanted to finish the series, so I picked this one up. I think I have like 200 pages left of it, and it's just been sitting, and I need to finish it. So that's definitely a for sure to do before the end of the year. Along with The Thief Lord, I think I have 100 pages left of this. I'm actually really enjoying this one. Cornelia Funk I remember reading when I was in middle school and just really liking her books, so I think I'm just going to try and dive back into her world next year. She's definitely one that I've really enjoyed kind of finding again. And yeah, this one's just, again, adorable, found family. My theme. I love a found family. And the last one I would love to finish before the end of the year, if I can, is All in Her Head by Elizabeth Coman. This is essentially taking a look, nonfiction, into the world of medicine and how it relates to women and just the misses that we've had in terms of how to treat and relate to women in the medical space. I find it fascinating. I'm really actually only like a chapter in, so I did pick up the audiobook and I'm hoping to listen to this and crank it out before the end of the year. Fingers crossed. We'll see how it goes. And lastly, in my TBR for December, let's talk about some holiday books that I would love to read before this year is over. I like to kind of reserve December for my holiday reading books. I usually have a pretty good stack accumulated throughout the year. It's actually sitting on my desk currently, so there's plenty more of these, but these are the ones I would really love to get to. The first one is Mary Kay Andrews' The Santa Suit. I actually know nothing about this, but I know Mary Kay Andrews is a pretty popular author. This one I think is kind of reads like a Hallmark book. Fast-paced, quick, sweet read. I think it'll be cute, kind of looks like Hallmarky vibes. I think it'll be adorable. I'm excited. Next, this is one I've been trying to read for years, and I still haven't had a chance to get my hands through it, to read it. This is The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. This I know is one that was so popular a few years back, and I just haven't had the chance to get around to it yet, so I need to. No more excuses. This is the year it's going to happen. Couple more. This is Kringle by Tony Abbott. This I think is about the reindeer, I think. There's, oh no, A Boy Named Kringle. Okay, so is this basically, oh yeah, I think it's basically talking about like how Santa came to be, I think. So we'll figure out what that's about. It just looks cute. The edges are sprayed gold. I found this one for pretty inexpensive at Book Off, and I think it will be a good time. Okay, two more and then we are done. The last one, or second to last one I want to read is Mr. Dickens and His Carol by Samantha Silva. Of course, you guys may or may not know, I read The Christmas Carol, which I also should include in this stack, every year, usually on like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. It's like my favorite book to read in the Christmas holiday time for some reason. It's just nostalgic to me at this point. So reading something about the man that created it, I'm excited to get into. I think this one will be pretty good, and it's pretty short as well. And last but not least, let's talk about it. The book that I would love to finish before the end of the year. This is Nutcracked by Susan Adrian. I think this one's just kind of a spin-off of The Nutcracker, which is, again, one of my favorite things for this time of year. Love The Nutcracker. It's a classic holiday story. So yeah, any rendition of it I usually tend to pick up or gravitate towards. So there you go. We'll see if I get to it. All right, friends, I hope you enjoyed this chaotic but exciting TBR and end of year video wrap up. I have enjoyed this year. It's been a busy one. It's been crazy. There's been a lot going on, but I've read so much this year. Not all of it has been amazing, but a lot of it has been pretty good as I look back. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments below what some of your favorite books were from the year. I would love to talk to you guys there. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to see more of my face. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.